Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of my Study With Me series here on YouTube. I'm really excited for this week because we are just going to be studying some vocabulary from HSK 5. That's the one I'm studying for right now. So yeah, hopefully, even if you're at a lower level, even if you're at a higher level, maybe this can be helpful. I'm really excited for it. Let me just set up here this thing. I'm actually super stoked. Okay, so yes, we are going to be doing vocabulary sets today. Normally, I actually study the vocabulary in an alphabetical order for all of HSK. And so right now I'm kind of on X to Y, so I've already gotten pretty far through. I normally just have these like this kind of set of cue cards like this, and we're going to be going through a whole pack of these today, okay? So let me go through some, I guess, disclaimers first, okay? So I am not a teacher, okay? I can also be wrong, and so if I am wrong, please correct me because this is another way that I use to learn, so you guys kind of help me out as well. And if you don't know something and something's not clear, then maybe we can try to figure it out together. Today, what we're going to be doing is because we're going to be studying this pack of cue cards, essentially, we are, okay, so what I normally do is I go through this pack and I try to memorize the words. And then I make sentences for the words that I don't know how to use. So we are just going to basically be doing that. We're going to be memorizing these and then coming up with some sentences. Actually, I already have sentences because I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. So I already found sentences, but you can use the same process that I use. So yeah, we're not going to have a break today like we did last week because I feel like there's a lot to get through. So all you guys are going to need is, let me tell you, you guys are just going to need yourself, an open mind, and you're going to need a notebook or something so that you can write things down. And hello, everybody, for joining in the chat. I'm very excited to have you here. And I hope that you guys learned something. So if I go too slow, too fast, or anything, just let me know. Give me some feedback because in the future Study With Me videos, I would love to know what I can do better. So just keep me updated on what's working and what's not working. Yes, okay, so how about we just get right into this? Let me know if you guys can hear me and see the thing okay, if it's big enough and stuff like that too. Okay, so here's the first set of words. Remember, this is all in alphabetical order. So what I normally do is I repeat the words to myself. I put the pinyin up here as well so that if maybe you're not as familiar with characters, you might still be able to be familiar with like the pinyin. And then also it helps me not make a mistake while I talk on a live stream because that's embarrassing. Okay, so let's read these out together. We're going to start at here, and then we're going to go here, and then here, and then here, okay? So let's read it out together. We're going to read it out 2 times each, okay? Ready? Here we go. 心脏,心脏,信封,信封,信任,信任,信心,信心. Okay, so now that we've tried to kind of connect the meaning of the character with like how the tones are, then I go into analyzing the character. First, I see, can I find a way to memorize this character without learning the English first? So let's analyze this. We know that xin means heart. 脏, not really sure what that means yet by itself, but I'll get back to this because I think there's an interesting way to actually memorize this character. Next, we know 信封, 信封. We know that xin means like a letter of some sort, right? Like, I don't know, just a letter, okay? Feng, I know that's also a measure word for a letter. So this could have something to do with a letter. This one could have something to do with a heart, right? 信任, 信任. This one, you can't really tell, I think, just by looking at this one, what this one means. And xin, also, this one has something to do with heart or like having your heart in something. So let's analyze this a little bit more. Okay, so we were right. 心脏 means heart. 信封, envelope. So it does have something to do with the letter. 信任, trust. Okay, that can make sense. I feel like once you get to know more about what this character means by itself, the meaning for this will become more clear. 信心, confidence. So that kind of makes sense with the whole heart thing, because once you have your heart into something and you feel more confident, then I guess things make sense. Okay, so I want to go into how can we memorize this 心脏 better, because I found a way to memorize it. Okay, so once we look here, these are all different parts of the body, either organs or like this is foot, this is arm, this is intestine. Do you notice something similar about them? Yes, they all have this little radical, this little guy right here. Do you see it? Right here, right here. So I think that when you look at 心脏, you know that it means heart because of this character, but you know it means the actual heart because of this one, you know, because it means it's an actual part of the body. So that one makes sense. Yes, so what I normally do next is once I've memorized these characters themselves, I try to use them in a sentence, but I only take the ones that I actually don't know how to use or that I'm a little unsure about how to use, and I make those into sentences. Now, before I actually get into it, I kind of want to go into how exactly do I find these sentences. So let me see if I can screen share in a different way, because I want to show you exactly what I do, because I find that this might be pretty helpful. Okay, so Chrome tab, let me see. Okay, here we go. So let me go into actually how I do it. So I go to Baidu Translate. I actually find Baidu Translate is a much better translation application than Google Translate. It's more accurate. So for example, I will type in, like we just did, 心脏, right? So I type that into Baidu Translate. Might take a while. Sometimes it just takes a while. I don't know why. But once, okay, it's loading. It's loading. We can see that. Once it actually loads, then it'll show the translation as well as, oh, hello. Okay, maybe it was loading that entire time. Okay, there we go. So I scroll down and there's tons of sample sentences. Tons of them. So this is kind of how I find it. And then I also have that application, that Chrome application. It's like Zhongwen Dictionary, I think. And then you can also like kind of find out how to use the word, I guess. So like, for example, this one's really easy. 他的心脏停止跳动. Yes, so his heart stopped beating. So that's an easy way to, I guess, memorize like how to use the word. Also, yes, hello everybody again in the comments. And Autumn, I'm so happy that you have cereal. I wish I had cereal. I feel so hungry right now. You know, I had mangoes lately. Like I have so many mangoes at home and I'm like absolutely stoked about having all of these mangoes. Every day I have a mango. It's amazing. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to open up my thing again. Okay, here we go. So now let's see what I wanted to find out. I wanted to know exactly how can we use 信任 and 信心, because there could be multiple ways you can use this in a sentence. So let's go here. So I have these sample sentences that I did get off Baidu Translate. It is a better method to try to come up with sentences on your own, but for the purpose of me being on a live stream, I don't want to mess it up and I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. So yes, I did just use Baidu Translate sentences. So let's see how we can use 信任. 我完全信任他. I completely trust him. Sorry, sometimes I put in the pinyin, sometimes I don't, because these ones are a bit more simple. But I'm sure you can just search it up if you don't know the character. So yes, 我完全信任他. Amazing. So it literally is to trust. So it's just a verb. Amazing. Now, 信心. 病人需要对医生有绝对的信心和信任. Ah, look, Jen was tricky. She used both 信心 and 信任. Basically, it's like sick people. Oh, I can't touch this. Okay. Sick people need to, like, towards the doctor, have complete trust and confidence. Okay, so that's kind of what that sentence is saying. I know I might be going a little bit too fast, but if you ever feel like you need me to slow down so that you can write things down, let me know, or you can just pause and then continue. Yes. Okay, so let's move on to the next set of words. Okay, so ready? We're going to read it out twice, every one of them, okay? 兴奋, 兴奋, 行李箱, 行李箱行人行人行事行事 Also, sorry, like even my tones sound wrong even if I look at the pinyin, so I'm sorry. Okay, so let's analyze these. So in the first character here, all I can think about is 高兴, like that one just means happy. So this one could have something to do with being happy, right? The next one, 行李箱, we know the first part of the character, 行李, that means luggage. 箱 means box. So it's maybe a box or somewhere where you can put your luggage, okay? So that is an idea. 行人, 行人. Okay, this is like, I already know what this means. I don't really know how to analyze it. Obviously, we know it's some kind of person, okay? We'll get into it later. Okay, and then 形式, 形式. So we know this 式 is used in words like 方式, which means method. So that may or may not be helpful. Let's see what we can do with this information. Okay, so 兴奋. We originally said that it was supposed to mean something like happy. So yeah, it does. It's excited. So you're happy, you're excited. 我很兴奋, you know, like, yeah, I'm so excited. That kind of thing. So good. Okay, we've analyzed that. Amazing. So the next one, we said that it was somewhere where you put your luggage, right? A box for your luggage, and it means trunk. Amazing. Okay, 行人, pedestrian. I do know that there is something like, if you want to say pedestrian street or pedestrian road, that's like 步行街, 步行街, which is also this 行. So it could be like pedestrian road or just pedestrian. 形式. We know that 式, like if we said, let's say 方式, that was a method or some kind of way of doing something. This is form, but I'm not 100% sure how to use this word. So let's take in my phone is ringing. That's okay, it can keep ringing. Okay, so how can we use this? Summer, yeah, you also use Baidu Translate? Yes, I like it because it does have the sentences as well. Yeah, I think it's a great resource, better than Google Translate for anybody who does use Google Translate. Okay, so let's find out how to use 形式. 我不能容忍任何形式的暴力. No form of violence can be tolerated. Now let's see, let's actually analyze this sentence so that we're not just saying it out loud and pretending like we know all of the parts of the sentence. So 我不能, we know that means I cannot. 容忍任何, I'm guessing this means like tolerate. 任何形式, we know 任何kind of means like any, right? So we know that 任何形式, any form. Right? Because 形式 means form. 的暴力 means violence. So 我不能容忍 I cannot tolerate any form 任何形式的暴力 any kind of violence. Okay, so that's the first sentence. Second sentence, let's go. 艺术的形式是多种多样的. There are many forms of art. This just means art, right? 艺术的形式, like the forms. So arts forms are 多种多样的, are like lots of kinds. 多种多样, like lots of sorts, lots of kinds, kind of. Yeah, so that's that. Let's go back up here. We know what all of these mean. You know what I tried to do for you guys? I tried to color code these, so it might be easier to also remember if we're only doing 4 at a time and they're also color coded. So hopefully we'll see at the end if that's actually helpful. Okay, so here's the next one. So let's read all of them twice. Ready? 3, 2, 1. 性别性别性质性质幸亏幸亏凶凶 Okay, so let's see, can we kind of find out what all of these mean? So I put in here that 性 means nature. So not nature as in like trees and stuff. It's more like nature of the human, like human nature, I guess. So let's try to analyze what all of these mean according to that. So 性别. So we know that 性 is like nature, like of the human or something, and 别 means like other, I guess. So we can we'll see how this fits together when I actually show you the English. This next one is 性质, 性质. So we know that this is nature, and this is like 质 is also in the character, or is also in the word for 质量, which means quality. of something. So we'll also see how that plays in a little bit. So nature and quality. Let's see how that can combine. This is 幸亏, 幸亏. So 幸, we know that this is in the word for happy, like 幸福, or also 幸运, which means lucky. So we'll also see how that comes in. And 凶, we're seeing a pattern here. We've seen this radical before in the front of heart. Do you remember? So this one might have something to do with the body. So let's see what they actually mean. Okay, so we're looking at these and it kind of makes sense, right? So 性别, gender. So we know that it's like some kind of human nature and it's other. So it's like gender. There's two different kinds. So we just kind of like, I don't know, I don't know how to explain that, but I think it kind of makes sense. So let's go to the next one. 性质, nature or character. So this is more human nature or human character. I actually made a mistake of calling this something else in a video once, and everyone was roasting me. So don't make that mistake. If you're talking about human nature, human character, like let's say you really respect someone's character, you use this word, okay? You don't use 品质, which means a product's quality or something, because that's what I did. Don't be Jen. Don't make the same mistakes that Jen makes. I'm trying to help you, okay? So, 性质, someone's character or nature, and we know that because this means nature and this can mean quality or something, right? Okay, so let's see here. Oh, 1 second. Okay. 幸亏. So we know that like 幸运, for example, means lucky. So this means fortunately. So I guess that kind of makes sense if you're saying like, oh, fortunately something happened, aka I'm lucky that something happened. So that could be a way to remember it. And 胸 means chest. We were right. It does mean something to do with the body, and this radical helped us figure that out. So that's good to know. Now, let's use some of them in a sentence. So I only chose 2 of them to use because I think like chest is pretty easy. It's just my chest, whatever. My gender is blah, blah, blah. Pretty easy to know how to use those. But 性质, I just want to clarify on how to use it, and also 幸亏. So, for example, 他对自己使命的, is it D or the? 使命的性质还不清楚. Okay, sorry about this. I think it's a duh, not a D. Someone let me know. Okay, I just copied and pasted, okay? Yes, so let's see. Okay, so 他对自己使命的性质还不清楚. So we know the end of this means it's still not clear, right? 他对自己, like he is like, he's talking about his own self something, right? Mission, 的性质, the nature of his mission. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now let's read this sentence together so that we kind of are more comfortable reading out loud, because that's something I could struggle with. So we're gonna do it because I struggle with it. I don't know if you do too, but we're just gonna do it anyway. Okay, so ready? 3, 2, 1. 他对自己使命的性质还不清楚. How was that? Pretty good. So we just basically know that it's like something's nature, something's character, because it has that possessive particle, right? So you can say 他的性质, right? Her character, his character. Pretty easy. Now 幸亏, fortunately. So you can say 幸亏他没看见你. I was going to say 我. Okay. 幸亏他没看见你. Fortunately, he didn't see you. I didn't put any pinyin here because I think this is a pretty easy sentence. So there's also another word that I found that you can also use. I found out this word when I was studying a different video for HSK, and let me show you. So it's 多亏, which kind of means the same thing, but it's not like fortunately, it's more like thanks to something, this didn't happen, or thanks to this happened. That kind of thing. So I remember reading an example that was something like 多亏他帮助我 or whatever. 多亏他的帮助, 要不然 blah blah blah. Like otherwise something wouldn't have happened. So this is just like I just think that this 亏 repeats. So I think it's like thankfully or fortunately, we're lucky that, these kind of things. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if, oh yes, thank you guys. It is duh, not D. Frick, man. So that was Google Translate, because I get my pinyin, like things I copy and paste from Google Translate because Baidu Translate doesn't have the pinyin. So Google Translate, I'm telling you, it's just not the way to go. But thank you guys for correcting me. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. So, 熊猫，熊猫，修改，修改，休闲，休闲，舒心，舒心。Hope you guys are reading with me, okay? Hold on, I'm a little thirsty. My throat is getting dry. Lovely. Okay, so let's try to analyze these. To be honest, I don't really know how you can analyze this character. I feel like this is just one that everybody should know. If you don't know it already, you will know it in about 1 minute. But I love this character. I think it's so cute, and we'll find out more about that in a sec, okay? So, Shougai. Now, what on earth could this mean? These characters are so random, right? Well, no, let me tell you more. Let's analyze it. So, xiu by itself means to fix. So I remember when I first learned this word by itself, I was saying something like, 我弟弟喜欢修车. My brother likes fixing cars. So we know that this word means to fix, okay? Gai. This one is from gai bian, to change, right? So we're saying to fix and to change. So maybe we're changing something to make it better, right? So that is kind of, I guess, how I analyze that character. Now, what's next here? 休闲, 休闲. Okay, so I think this is the show from 休息, like to rest. Can't remember seeing 闲 by itself, so we're just gonna go with maybe it means something to do about resting. And this one, 舒心, 舒心, something to do with a heart again. So either putting your heart into something, we'll see. Okay, let's just move on. Okay, gotcha. So let's go to the cute character. 熊猫, 熊猫, 熊猫. Oh, yo, tones. Okay, so this one just means panda. We all need to know this. So if you don't know it, write it down right now. Okay, it's such a cute character. Like, look at these little, like, it's got a little, like, fur. Like, look at this. Just picture this as fur. Picture this as, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But it's just cute. Just memorize it, okay? So, next one is shougai. We said that it was fixing something to make it better, okay? So, yes, that's to modify. You're modifying something. You're modifying an essay. You're modifying a method of doing something. Like, you're changing something to make it better. Amazing. So, 休闲. Originally, this we thought meant something about resting, like 休息, but it's actually casual. So how I analyze that is, okay, so we're resting, so that means it's more downtime, right? So casual kind of fits into that narrative. Yep, good. So casual. And 舒心, modest. So again, that is something to do with the heart. That's like something that really comes from deep within, right? So if you're modest, don't really know how to memorize this shu, so we're just gonna have to flow with it, okay? Let's make our sentences. I did choose 3 words this time because I wanted to be sure about how to use blah, blah, blah. Okay, Autumn has a question here. So, 幸亏 wouldn't be used as much to mean thankfully. I think like thankfully and fortunately, even in English, that kind of means the same to me. But if there's Chinese people in the thing, then y'all can let us know, can this mean like thankfully? 幸亏. Thank you for that question. And then just saw I come 老师. Okay. Great. Glad to see you. Okay. And then I love this. Okay. So amazing. Okay. So this means bear and this means cat. So panda is a bear cat. That is a good way to memorize it. Thank you for that comment. Amazing. Okay, so see, I love how we're working together to find ways to memorize these. So, okay, let's see. 修改 we know means to modify. 他们修改了照片. So I guess they edited the photo, right? Pretty easy to know how to use that one now. It's just to modify. Good. 休闲 is casual. So I guess right here we already see casual 衣服. 休闲衣服, casual clothes, right? So oh, I feel like I have to sneeze. Nope, we're fine. Okay, 他还买了些周末穿的休闲衣服. Let's read that one together because clearly I have trouble with it. So let's go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. 我还买了些周末穿的休闲衣服. Good. You're doing great, guys. I'm so happy that you're here studying with me. Okay, so the last one, 舒心 modest. 只要舒心就会进步. As long as you're modest, you will improve. Or like you'll get better or whatever. So that's just to be modest. So that's a pretty easy way of actually using it. I found like I haven't ever used these before and I haven't seen them before. So that's why I wanted to create sentences. Hopefully these sentences also make sense. Let's move on to the next set. Okay, wait, let me get a drink of water here. I'm so thirsty. Okay, so we'll read these again twice, each one. Ready? Set, go. 是, oh, dear Lord. Okay, hold on. 叙述宣布选举学问. Now here's the tricky part. When you have an X and then the SH, that's hard. Okay. All right. So honestly, not really sure how you can memorize this. I haven't really seen these characters by themselves. So this is just one that I have to memorize and that you guys might have to memorize too, unless you have a way of memorizing them already. Then please share them. 宣布. I feel like I've seen this boo before, but I can't remember where. Yeah, so we're just going to move on from that and we'll analyze it after we know the English. 选举. So we know this 选 means to choose, right? It's also in 选择, or like to choose, right? So it means a choice. 学问. We know that 学 means like to learn or to study. And 问 is to ask a question. So let's find out what the English versions actually are. 叙述. Narrate. Oh dear, how would I ever get that? Honestly, I probably will never use this. I probably will never say this word out loud. But it's good to know, good to recognize. This 书 kind of makes sense because this part is also in 秘书, which means arts. So if you think about it this way, actually that would kind of make sense. It's kind of an arts thing, right? Like studying narration and art, like English and that kind of stuff in school. Anyway, yeah, so let's just try to remember that. It may or may not work. Okay, 宣布 means to announce. I honestly don't have a way of memorizing this either. If you guys have a way of memorizing it, let me know. If not, we're just going to try to remember that it means to announce. 选举. This one is election. Makes sense because here, like we can say 选 because it's like you're like choosing your candidate, whatever. And then 举. I don't really know, but I feel like I've seen this in when it comes to like politics, I feel like I've seen this in other election style words. Maybe in vote or something, I don't know. But yeah, so that makes sense. This one makes a lot of sense. And 学问, knowledge, also makes sense. You study, you learn, and you have the knowledge. Okay, let's read these one more time because I feel like we're a little bit unsure on two of these particularly. So let's just read them again and try to connect the English with the character and the meaning, okay, like all of it together. So let's read it. 叙述, narrate. 宣布, announce. Okay, hopefully we can remember those two. Do you know what the difference is between 学问 and 知识? This is a very good question, actually. I don't know because I normally have always used 知识. I've never used 学问. If anybody knows the answer to this question, please let us know in the chat because it would be good to know. Maybe they can be used interchangeably and you can just use both in the same situations. That would be really nice. So I'll keep that up, and then if somebody has an answer, you can let us know. But otherwise, we're just going to keep going in the meantime. And we're going to make sentences from 2 of these words. So we have 宣布 and we have 选举. So let's see. We're announcing something. It's obviously going to be a verb. 宣布. Let's read this sentence. 宣布订婚. Announced the engagement. Pretty easy. You can announce your marriage, announce your engagement. You can announce a winner. Announce many things. So, yes. Okay, we have an answer to your question. Let's see. 学问 gets you knowledge from asking questions. That makes a lot of sense because the character for 1 is inside of there. So thank you, Zoe, for answering that question. Okay, so 知识, my guess, is just regular knowledge, like your general knowledge. And 学问 is maybe knowledge, like maybe after you go to university or something, and I don't know, you're asking your professor questions and now you know that stuff. Genius. Thank you. Yes, it is genius. Thank you both. Thank you both for bringing that up because I didn't even think. Oh, and then we have another answer actually. Let's go into this as well. 学问 is an adjective and 知识 is a noun. Okay. And another one, 学问. Oh, look at this funny way of answering this. Okay, 学问, 不懂就要问. I love it. That kind of helps remember it too. It's like a little rhyme. I love it. Okay, let's get into these sentences, shall we? So, yes, 选举, we're on 选举. Election. We already know what it is, but let's just read it, okay? 去年我们进行了一次选举, right? Last year, we held an election. Pretty simple. Let's move on to the next one, okay? I love Kate. This set I'm really in love with, and I'll tell you why. Because I genuinely find all of these really fun to remember. So, 学 顺找 顺练 顺速. You guys better be reading with me, okay? Let us analyze them. 学. See, this one you just have to know. It's not like you use this character to analyze other characters, you know? So this is like a basic one. If you don't know this, don't worry, we'll know it in 1 minute, okay? 寻找 找 means to look for. So we're probably looking for something in this character, right? Now, 训练. This one, okay, so you may or may not know these words, but 培训 means training, right? To train yourself to do something, or like language training, or like kind of like that. And then we all know this 练习, which means to practice. So training and practice. So it has something to do with that, okay? So something to do with practicing maybe and learning. And then 顺速 means, okay, so this 速 we know is in 速度. If you don't know it, that's okay. 速度 means speed, right? Like if you're driving a car, you can say, oh, 你的速度太快了. Like your speed is just too fast. Yes, so let's get into it. These are my way of memorizing them, okay? So this character is 混血, which means hybrid, okay? And a lot of people, I just think it's funny. If you've watched one of my videos before, you've probably already known this, but I have a lot of people asking me, 你是混血吗? AKA, am I half Asian, half white, basically. So this is like hybrid blood, okay? So this character, I'm just going to tell you right now, means blood. Yeah. And now 寻找. There's a song that this is in. I'll tell you guys when you actually know what the word means. And then again, like I said, 培训 and 练习, right? And this is 速度, which is speed. So the English versions now are 血, blood. shun zhao, search. Shun lian, training. Good. And shun su, rapid. So I guess this character, shun, if we know that su du means speed, then shun must mean something to do with fast, because then it could mean like fast speed. Yeah. Okay, so sentences. I took this sentence out of a song that I really like, and I'm actually going to be posting a cover for it eventually, kind of soon, maybe, but I love it. And it goes like this. 寻找着你的梦想，哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒哒。See, and that's why I love studying songs, because then you really do learn, like, how to memorize the phrases. Now the tones are just my problem. So let's read it together, okay? 3, 2, 1. 寻找着你梦想，你的梦想. Oh my gosh, I'm all I want to do is sing it. That's why. Okay, one more time. 寻找着你的梦想. It sounds so weird when I say it and not sing it. 寻找着你的梦想. Da, 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 da. Okay, so next one. 迅速. 迅速, rapid, okay? Fast. I put all of this up because I think this is a little bit more of a complicated sentence, so let's read it together. 随着工业的迅速发展，产生了污染问题. Okay, so let's analyze it together. 随着means along with, okay? 工业的迅速发展 along with the industry's rapid development 产生了污染问题. I guess, how would you say this? 产生了, like arises the pollution problem, if that makes sense. So again, the English version is here. So the problem of pollution arises along with the rapid development of the industry. But I guess when you're actually writing it in Chinese, it's kind of in a different grammar structure. So this is a bit more of a complicated sentence, but hopefully the structure does make sense, right? Along with the industry's rapid development arises a pollution problem. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Next one. Are we almost done? I think there's only like 2 more sets. Okay, so I'm getting tired. All right, so let's read it together, okay? yang, yang, 邀, 邀, 邀请, 邀请, 邀, 邀. Okay, cool. Now let's analyze these. Yang, it's pretty easy to remember how to say it because the inside reminds me of a lamb, like a goat or whatever it is, a lamb. Sheep, is it? A sheep is yang, and it has this also character in it. So I think remembering how it's pronounced is pretty easy, but let's look at the radical. The radical is this outside part, right? Right here. And that is always in characters that mean something to do with sick or like being, anything that has to do with being sick or ill or hospital stuff will all have this radical. So this one will have to be something like it's a concern to the body maybe. But let's keep going. Yao. Not really sure. I don't know if this has anything to do with the body. Yeah, it does. Okay. So yes, it also does. This radical comes up again, and yes, it does mean something to do with the body. Yao qing. Not really sure. Okay, so always with qing. I feel like it's something to do with a behavior. We'll find out. Yao. Okay, so I know what this means, but I don't know how to analyze this character for you guys. This might just be one that you have to remember. And I find there's a really easy way to remember this character, or not remember the character, but remember how to say it. So I'll get into that when we know the English. Let's find out the English. Yang, itch. Makes sense. It's a concern to the body. Yep. That's about it. That's all I got. But something can be itchy and you just got to scratch it, okay? Yao, yes, it has something to do with the body. It means the waist, okay? Yes. Yao qing, invite. Okay, see, that's a cute, okay, this makes sense also because it's like 请给我, blah, blah, blah. So like, please give me something. I feel like this is it is like an invitation to to talk with you, to do something with you, to like whatever. So that kind of makes sense, this one. Don't really know how to memorize the first character, but that's okay. Now, yao, I have always heard it with yao tou, which means to shake your head. No. So if you can remember yao tou, I think that you'll also remember yao means just to shake by itself. So hopefully that's helpful in some way. Yes. Now let's try to use some of these in sentences. Yang, let's know itch. Because, you know, in English, sometimes we say you can itch. Like some people, I don't know why, but in English, a lot of people will say, oh, you have an itch, go itch it. Like they use it as a verb. But like really, no, you should say scratch, right? But anyway, I was curious, does Chinese have the same problem where some people use it as a verb? And so I was analyzing this, and the answer is no, according to Baidu Translate. And we are going to read this sentence now, okay? So 你被蚊子咬的地方还痒吗? This character right here, yao, is actually in the next set of vocabulary. So if you don't know it right now, that's okay. But yes, so 你被蚊子咬的地方还痒吗? Is you, by the mosquitoes, bite the place that was bit, still itches? Question mark. Analyzing this sentence in English is really weird, but because bei, like we don't really, like the grammar structure of this is different than in English. So that's okay, but we kind of understand what this is saying, right? Where the mosquitoes bit you, does it still itch? Is essentially what it's saying. Okay, so that's kind of how, like, 还痒吗? Like, does it still itch? So that's the most important part of the sentence in this case, to understand how to use the word. Now, the next one is 邀请, invite, to invite someone to do something. I think this might be a good sentence to know. 我还没被邀请. I haven't been invited. Yeah, like I think that like 被 in this case is like by somebody, but it doesn't specify who. That's how I understand how to use 被, which is more like by somebody, something like that. So 我还没被邀请. This is one of those sentences that I will want to remember exactly how to say it, because I feel like this would be a good phrase that you actually would use in real life. So hopefully, like all of these sentences, you might have the chance to actually use. But yeah, okay, so that's kind of how to use it. I haven't been invited. 我还没被邀请. Good. Next set. Is this I hope this is the last set. I'm getting so tired. Okay. Okay, yes. Sorry, I'm reading your guys' comments, and yes, I agree with all of you guys. Sorry, I don't want to like put them up now because I've kind of gone past those points, but yes, I agree. Okay, so here's that yao. We already know what that means, right? If you don't, go back and try to remember. Okay, so let's try to read these all twice. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yao, yao, 也许, 也许, 液体, 液体. 业余, 业余. Great. So, yao, how can we actually analyze this though? We know that it has something to do with a mouth because of this character, or this radical. So, we already know that it means bite, okay? We know that. So this makes sense. Now, 也许, 也许. This actually, okay, I'll talk more about it actually later, but how to analyze it, I don't know. Because we know that yeah means also, but it doesn't really have to do with anything about what the meaning is. So I think that this is just something that you should just remember the meaning of. Unless there actually is a way to memorize it and you guys know, then let me know. Yeti, yeti. Can't remember what this means, but I know that this yeah, like in yeli, means nighttime. So, but that might not have anything to do with it at all. But it does help with the pronunciation. So yeah. And ti, like, is this the ti from 身体, like body? Then there's also this radical, which means something to do with water. And this radical has something to do with a person, right? So let's see what that means later. I honestly can't remember, so we'll find out together. 业余, yeah means industry, right? 行业 is industry. And you, can't really remember. Is this the you from Yusan, like umbrella? LOL. Okay, let's just find out. Oh, okay. So we know that yao means bite. And okay, so this one is 也许. This is kind of used like 可能, like maybe, perhaps. So lately I've just been interchanging them like freely. Like whenever I feel like I've used 可能 too much, then I'll throw in a 也许. So I just use them interchangeably. I don't actually know if you can. Maybe 可能 is more like maybe, and then 也许 is perhaps. So it's not too much of a difference. It's just maybe like which one sounds more professional or more suitable for your situation. Yeti means a liquid. Okay, so at least this water radical really came into handy here. This is just one that we're gonna have to remember. Liquid, this means like the states, like liquid, solid, gas, like that's this liquid. And I'm not really sure why the T, like what the T represents there, but all right. And 业余 means amateur. So I guess if you're talking about an industry, you can talk about levels of how you've, I guess, done in an industry. I don't know. Okay, well, anyway, amateur kind of makes sense for this. All right, I'll try to remember that. Later on, I'm going to be testing all of us, but the thing is that like if I don't remember it, then I'm going to look like a fool because I'm the one trying to like teach / go over this with you guys. So, okay, let's try to remember it. Yeah, you, amateur. Yeah, you, amateur. Okay, cool. Let's use it in sentences. So I guess the rest of them are pretty easy, right? We already know how to use bite. Yeti is just liquid. So it's pretty easy to say like, oh, this juice is a liquid, right? And yeah, you isn't just a noun, right? He's an amateur. But perhaps, again, kind of used like 可能, which is 他也许病了. Perhaps he's ill. 他也许不对. Maybe he's wrong. Right? So it's pretty easy to use this word. Now let's just, okay, so it is the end. So we're going to test ourselves, okay? So test yourself at home. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to just try to say it out loud, and then we'll see the answers later, okay? So let's see here. So the first character, 心脏, we know that means heart. 信封 means envelope. 信任 means trust. 信心 means confidence, I think. Right? Well, if I'm wrong, then I'll find out in a second. Okay, and this is 兴奋, excited. 行人, pedestrian. 行李箱, luggage box, trunk. And this is 形式, form. Yeah, or like, because 方式 means method, right? Okay, so let's check our answers. Now let's read it all together, okay? We're gonna do the thing where we connect all of it together. We're gonna read each one twice again, okay? Here we go. 心脏, 心脏, 信封, 信封, 信任, 信任, 信心, 信心, 兴奋, 兴奋, 行人, 行人, 行李箱, 行李箱, 形式, 形式. Good job, guys. Oh, I'm so excited for us. I hope that you are also actually reading it. Otherwise, actually, nobody would know. Nobody would know. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you are, then that's great. I think it's helpful. So yes, I hope that like if you are memorizing the characters and not just looking at the pinyin, that you are when you're reading with me looking at the character and not the pinyin, okay? Okay, let's do the next set. Oh dear, okay, this is where maybe is not as clear for me. Okay, let's go. I can't remember the tones. That's fine. I'll be corrected later. 性别, 性别, 性质, 性质, 幸亏, 幸亏, 胸, 胸, 胸毛, 胸毛, oh dear, 修改, 修改, 休闲, 休闲, and 实习修选性, 选性, I think. Okay, so I think this one was gender. This one was, okay, quality, nature. Fortunately, chest, panda, modify, casual, modest. Let's check. Okay, it's down. Falling tone here. Oh, and this is 舒心. Sorry, my bad. Rip. All right. So let's read it again together. Try not to look at the pinyin if you can. And let's try to connect to the meaning and the character and the tones all together, okay? 性别,性别,性质,性质,幸亏,幸亏,胸,胸,熊猫,熊猫,修改,修改,休闲,休闲,舒心,舒心. Good job. Okay, wicked. I'm surprised with myself that I actually remembered some of these ones, so that's nice. Okay, here's the next one. I noticed that, like, in this one, I did it differently than I did it in this one. Let's see. Maybe in this one, I'll try to say the character and the meaning, okay? Oh dear, what was this? Narration, I know because it had something to do with arts. It was like shu, shu, right? Like shu, shu, narration. Let's go with that. What is this? Was this like 宣布, 宣布? What if I can't remember? It had nothing to do with the election. The next one is election. Oh, this is announce, 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 宣布. See, I'm just trying to put them together and be like, I'm announcing a next election, okay? Anyway, 宣布, and this is 选举, 选举, 学问, knowledge, knowledge, and this is choice. And this is 血, blood, 寻找, 寻找着你的梦想, searching for your dreams, okay? Search. And this is 训练, to train, like training, practicing, whatever. And this is 迅速, right? I know that means rapid. Just can't remember what the character is. Okay. So, okay, you know what? I did pretty good. How did you guys do? So let's read it out together, okay? Twice each time. 述述述述宣布宣布选举选举学问学问学学寻找寻找训练训练迅速迅速. Great job. I am very happy that you guys are reading this through with me, and hopefully you're also memorizing what some of these actually mean. Now, this one, okay. So this is 养 itch, 邀 waist, 邀请 to invite, 摇 摇头, okay, 摇头. No, it's just no. Okay, yeah, shaking your head. Okay, and this is 摇. Can't remember the tone, but it means bite. 也许 perhaps, 液体 liquid, and 业余 amateur. Let's check my answers. So it is 养 itch. Okay, let's read it twice together, okay, each one. Here we go. 养养邀邀邀请邀请摇摇摇摇也许也许液体液体业余业余. How'd you guys do? Okay, so that actually was the end of this PowerPoint. I'm really proud we did get this done in under an hour, which is really nice. Now, I think that to actually be able to learn from what we studied today, I think the best thing is to now go out and try to use these words. Even if it's just the easy ones, like, for example, like 摇头, or I don't know, like just some easier ones, like maybe the body parts. Maybe you can like decide to write down all of the body parts, or whatever you decide to do, write down some practice sentences. I think that if it's possible, use some of these words, make some sample sentences and leave them in the comments. And then we can look at them and get inspired from each other, that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm very happy that you guys were able to join me today on this study with me. If there's anything that you guys would like me to change for the future or that you think I could improve on, then also let me know, because I want to make sure that this is beneficial for you guys. If you thought it was great, also let me know, because then it feels good and encouraging. Yeah, I hope you guys learned something new and that you are able to progress in your Chinese language learning. Thank you, Autumn, for saying this. Such a nice time. I'm glad you enjoyed spending your morning here on a live stream with me, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's great. Okay, anyway, hope you guys are going to have a great day. I never know how to end a live stream, okay? I'm sorry. But see you guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you maybe next week. See ya.